Hello, welcome back to Steve's Retirement Corner. Paying the taxes on my Roth conversions. Hey man, a few videos back I did a video about starting my Roth conversions, and I meant to mention how I was going to pay for the taxes on them, and I just plumb forgot. I think it's important to understand that when you're going from a traditional to a Roth, there's a tax situation that happens, and I think it's a good idea to have some kind of idea of your options and to pay them, and consequences or pros or cons of either one of them. That's why I think you ought to go get help on professional help and advice for that kind of stuff. And don't listen to a factory flunky sitting in a gazebo in the middle of his backyard. But hey man, for me it was extremely easy, man. I'm just going to pay my taxes out of the daggone conversion. It's not the difference between taking it out of my conversion or paying it from another account is not enough for me to be worried about. It's not like I'm moving a whole bunch of money. I'm just going to piece out a little bit every year until I get to Social Security age. Come Social Security age, we shouldn't need any of that money, so it's an account that we shouldn't need when we retire. If it's there and we do need it, then we can take it out whenever or how much we want without the taxes. We're not being told by an required minimum distribution that we got to take it if we don't need it. You know what I mean? I take it if I need it. And that's something I hadn't planned on in retirement. And when I retired, I thought I was going to need every nickel I had. But I mean, I've been retired these 3 years now. I've been living just fine, and I've actually gained a little bit. So next year is going to be like I'm starting retirement at 60. So it got more than I started when I left at 57. So if we need it, we take it. If we don't, then the kids can fight over what's left. That's why I said down at the end there that so what if the kids only get $900 instead of $1,000? You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna take it straight out of the daggone distribution. I mean, if you look at it, man, if over the years, next few years, I piece it out and daggone, what the heck was that? There's a spider. I might have just got bit by a daggone spider. But if I over the next few years I move out little by little, 100 grand. I use 100 grand because it's easy. It's a round number. I can figure it in my head, and it's easy to scale. So, yeah, I did. I just got bit by a daggone spider. I can feel it. Son of a gun. But if I put the whole amount in there and pay the taxes from somewhere else, if you're using 7% interest, it's a decent amount of money. First off, 100 grand is a lot of daggone money. I don't care who you are. But 7%, it's not too wildly out of the range. It's not too low balling, and it's not praying for 10-12%. Plus at 7%, hey, your money has a tendency to it just about doubles every 10 years. So I start out with that 100. First 10 decade I got 200 grand, and then in the second decade I got 300 grand or 400 grand. And you switch that around, and I take out that 20%. I use that. It's not going to be that much because we're only in the 12% tax bracket. Even with daggone state taxes, we won't be paying that much. But it's just an easy number to figure on. You take out 80 grand. 80 times the first decade is going to be 160, and the second decade is going to be 320. To sit there and say that, hey man, after I've lived 80 years, good, comfortable years, I'm gonna be ticked off because I got 80 grand less than I could have had in an account I no longer need. Just don't make any sense to me, Doc. You know. Now, the higher you go up the scale, it starts getting a little. I get a little greedy. 200 grand. If you do 200 grand over the years, well, you end up. You just times it times two. There's 160 grand difference. Is it going to make a difference in my retirement? No. It shouldn't. But I mean, the higher them numbers go, you start getting up $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, you moving over. I mean, you're talking close to $500,000, man. That'll bring out the greed in about anybody. And I don't have I got a short time frame. Like I said, I figure 15, 20 years at best, if I'm lucky. So if I was 35, 25 or 30, hey, I got a lot more time. I got 4 or 5 decades maybe to let that money grow. It's a good pile of money. It could turn into quite a bit of money. Things would be different. If I was moving more money, it'd be a lot different. But I'm no danger of moving $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 over. We're in no danger of the Irma problem. We ain't even close to that. And I'm not on the HCA, so I got nothing to worry about there. And so it's not a concern for me at all. If things change, hey man, hopefully it's a long time before I kick off. So things could change between now and then. I might switch things around. It just depends. Over the time I take Social Security, I've still got 7, 8 years left. So I might wake up tomorrow and decide to do a 180. It really depends on your situation at the time, man. That's the way I work everything, man. I evaluate our situation, look at my options, and then I make a decision. That's one of the benefits of not having a lot of money. It makes them decisions like that fairly easy for me, anyways. And then again, if everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and I move 200 grand total, so and I pay the taxes through it, what did I say that was going to be? 640 grand or whatever. I got $500,000 in an account I no longer need. If I don't have no daggone Social Security, if they kick me off the rolls, if my pension goes bankrupt and Pension Guarantee Corp says they ain't gonna pay a nickel for me, if I go burn through my daggone cash, if I burn through my daggone brokerage account, I still got over $500,000 if I'm fortunate enough to live past 80. So I need the money, So it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not worried about it. But anyways, man, hey man, I don't like to do this, but I'm gonna put out a daggone that week of nothing video tomorrow. I don't like to put them out back to back. It's a little bit long, man. It's about 15 minutes long. And I didn't cover the weekend, because the weekend I go visit my little ladies. The kids come over and we just kind of hang out here at the house, watch a ball game. This time of year I'm busy watching football. So, but watch it if you want to. Make sure you have a pot of coffee next to you so you don't fall asleep. It ain't no shocker, Doc. The only 2 things I did last week was put in a faucet in this bathroom and get a haircut. So, and I guess that's about it, man. That's the way I'm handling it, and why. It's just not a big enough difference for me to be concerned with. It just isn't, But anyways, man, y'all take care of yourselves, and you'll make it a great week if you can. Looks like they called off that hurricane. So that's good. Well, we're supposed to be sitting under a storm right now, but they called all that off. But y'all take care of yourselves, man. We'll talk with y'all later.